Hey guys, Eric here. I am at a local smaller Comic Con today in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is the Kenosha Comic Book and Collectible Show that's at a little local DoubleTree hotel. There's, quite a bit. It's all in one ballroom. There's quite a few dealers with their tables set up with different action figures, collectibles like Funko Pops, and of course comics. That's why we're here today. And I'm going to head in and see what kind of issues I can find to fill those gaps I have in my collections.
And there's no objection.
All right, guys, there you see my excursion to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, the Kenosha Comic Book and Collectible Show, I'll try to put links to it down below. It's just over the border in Wisconsin. So if you're in northern Illinois or maybe, the southern Wisconsin area and you want to go to this and check it out, I will put the links below for their Facebook page. And you can check them out. Get on a mailing list. That's basically what they had at the show. I took a picture of it. There's a mailing list, and the dates that they're coming up, they'll send you a little postcard, and then you can get in free too, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, I think it's like $2 to get in. But yeah, this little flyer that I got for their next shows, November 12th, and then February 25th, May 26th, and September 1st. And sometimes those change a little bit based on availability and stuff like that. But yeah, you can. I'll put a link down so you can check it out. And as you can see, I kind of actually forgot to take pictures, and I tried taking video, but it's really hard to take video holding that camera and go through long boxes. So something I'm going to have to practice at or work at. I'll try to, get that distance a little bit right, but. I did take some pictures, so you guys saw some of the dealers in their room. It's a ballroom type size. So, and I said to myself when I went to this, I was going to look for specific things, which I did. I didn't get side quested too bad. And I went with the idea that I think I had cash in my pocket, $100. And we'll see what happens type of thing. You know how it goes. You see something, ooh, I forgot, that I got all this stuff, but then there was this. So, but I'll show you what I got, and we'll just go through some of these from all the different dealers. Now, to start off, one of the things I got in the front, when you're first going in, they have a table off to the side. I don't think I got it in the picture. Of just a bunch of free comics that usually they put those out there for the kids to grab. And I saw this sitting there, and I asked, can I grab them? They're like, yeah, sure, go ahead and grab it. So I grabbed this old issue from Valiant, Archer and Armstrong. This is number 16 from 1993. Valiant, I remember when this came out, they were really hot. These things went up in price, and I got this one for free. So I was like, why not? I got a couple of the issues from back in the day, and sometimes I see them in dollar dives that I do, and I pick them up. So that was that freebie I got. But then one of the first dealers that I saw walking in, I had a bunch of bin boxes marked like, I think $2, $3, $5. Now, I've had this pile actually for about a month, so trying to remember that stuff. I'm a little foggy. I've been saving this pile since I decided to start this YouTube channel. So one of my runs, my quest was I started getting Invaders from the 70s. Somebody turned me on to it. I'll have to put a picture of the one book that sold me on it. And part of it is, I think I find it humorous because it takes place during World War II. But it has your classic characters: Captain America, Namor, and the original Human Torch. And then there's a bunch of other characters. And this series was just loaded with first appearances. So at the time when I went, I just started thumbing through the, I think it was the $5 bin, and I saw a bunch of them, and I was like, oh, cool. I actually end up, the series ran from 75 to 79, like 41 issues. So there wasn't that many to get, and I had most of them that I got from a local store. So I needed at this time, I think, 4 more to complete the run. Here's what I got actually starting off. So I got number 7 of Invaders. Most of these I think were written by Roy Thomas, but this one specifically, Jack Kirby did the cover. I'm trying to not get that glare, but as you can see, that's Baron Blood. So this was actually Baron Blood's first appearance in comics. And also it had, the first appearance of Union Jack was in here. I don't think he's on the cover though. He's probably in the spaceship right there. And Jacqueline Falsworth was also a first appearance of this. Like I said, there's a lot of first appearances in this series. It's just a fun, classic superhero, supervillain series. So that was number 7. And then I got number 16. This is also Kirby again. And this one, let's see, it's the first Julia Koning, if I'm saying the character's name right. Man, I am really getting a glare. I will have to, there we go. If I angle it, you guys can see it good. So this one I really liked. I mean, it's like the super soldier Captain America versus the super Nazi. I think the cover is beautiful. Jack Kirby, of course. And that came out in 77. So then we got number 20, Invaders. Let's see. Now this one, I got little peek behind the curtain, cheat notes on the back there. So this one actually was the first full appearance. Let me get the glare. First full appearance of Union Jack 2. And this was Brian Falsworth. That was Union Jack. So you got a whole team. They're running. That's kind of a classic action shot of the team just running in to beat some people up. So that's number 20. And then I got number 23, which is the first appearance of the Scarlet Scarab. And this one, let's see who did this. Gil Kane did the cover on this one on number 23. Classic artist. Yeah, and I can't remember the price that I got in all these books. I know I got like 2 from one bin, 2 from another one. Like this one I think was a $3 bin. This one I want to say was a $5, which isn't too bad. I mean, for a book from 1977. Okay, and then finally, I actually, after I paid for those, the guys, I started talking to the dealer a little bit about the series and stuff like that, and he mentioned the annual, and I was like, I don't think I have that. And when he showed it to me, I was like, right away, I knew I didn't have it. So, of course, right away, I knew I needed it. So this was the one and only annual they did for Invaders. That is just, I love this classic cover of them fighting the Nazis. Roy Thomas was the writer. Elias was the artist on the inside, and Alex Schoenberg was the cover. I'm probably butchering these names, guys. But I think I paid $3 for this. And I think the guy gave me a little bit of a deal since I bought a couple of them. I can't remember if he knocked off a couple bucks off the first 4. But by getting all these, I basically completed my run of Invaders Volume 1. Very cool run, you guys. If you're interested in checking out some kind of classic 70s comic series, this was one I would suggest to people because it's just fun. It's a fun, alternative to Avengers, I guess is almost what I'd call this. I mean, during World War II, there's some cool covers of Thor being hypnotized or something by Hitler, and he ends up fighting Submariner. It's a really cool story. And I think there's some more of, there's just a lot of original villains that we don't see anymore that were in that series. So check that one out. I know there's a couple different volumes. Okay, so At this point, I actually only visited one dealer in that big ballroom that you guys kind of saw a picture of. And one of my things I love doing is I love dollar diving. I love when dealers have dollar book sales. I am not a big person on graded books. Um, Not that I won't go after them, if it's something really specific. But I get books for the fun of it. I see the art. That's what attracts me. I'm not hunting the keys. If I find a key, that's cool. So the dollar bins, I love just the discovery of what am I going to find in there. So recently, I started picking up Aquaman. I don't know why I like Aquaman. I think it's because when I was 3, and my parents gave me a Justice League sleeping bag, and he was one of the main characters on it. And I think ever since then, I was fixated with the guy that can go in the water and talk to fish. But anyway, now as an adult, one of the things I think that motivates me about Aquaman is that you can find them for cheap. I like for instance, this dollar bin of this dealer. I just started going through it to see what he had. A lot of modern stuff in there. What I ended up finding, and some of these I bagged already and boarded, is I found a whole bunch of Aquamans in this guy's dollar bin. So I think I got about 13 here. I think he charged me $10 for these. And most of these Aquamans are like 2012 to 2019. So the last 2 volumes, volume 7, 8. And I got a bunch of them for $1. And actually cheaper than that because he marked off a price. And I think these last 2 here are from a different volume. But yeah, I mean, I found a number 1 of the Rebirth series. The start of this series, and I think almost every single one of this series I found in dollar bins. I don't know if people don't like the story or if it's just overprinted or what, but I mean, hey, I'm finding it for $1, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, that was volume 8, and I found a bunch from volume 7, from when they did the New 52 run of all the Aquamans. So, and then also I found, and I got this, I'll admit, just because of the art, Batgirl Volume 5. This was the variant cover. Let's see if I can get it. There we go, without the glare. This was Joshua Middleton that did the cover. Really, it just jumped out to me. I was like, wow, that looks so like real to me, for artwork. And I got it. I thought my wife would like it. She kind of likes Batgirl. And she's a redhead too. So I'm trying to influence her into reading some of these comics. But yeah, this was a dollar too. I mean, it was like brand new. I don't even think anybody read it. So it might have been like overstock and this dealer got them and he just threw them in his dollar bin type of thing. So you can't beat $1. You never know what you're going to find. I didn't know I was going to find this. I mean, I saw the Aquamans and I started digging right away. And then I went to some other dealers, but later on I did come back to this same dealer that had the dollar because I saw this. And this was Firestorm. This was from his first volume, the limited series that he had. This was, Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, number 1. And this came out in 1977. And Al Milgrom is the cover artist on this. Classic 70s art. And the thing that I liked about this was his first appearance in the comics, in DC Comics. So this was the only one I needed for the series. All of them, I think it's a 5-issue series, maybe 4. I'm remembering wrong, but all the other ones I found in dollar dives. They were in, good to very good or good to fair. Some right in the middle, mid-grade, I would say. And I'm fine with that. I just wanted to read them. I didn't want to, resell them or kind of, save them for investment purposes, which that's not me. I just want to read the stories. And yeah, this was another one, I think, like Aquaman. I came across a whole bunch of them in a discount bin. So I just grabbed them. I started reading them. And it's like, I kind of remember him from, the old Justice League cartoons they had in the 80s. And he was never really a main character, but he was always part of a team. So I thought that was kind of neat. And like I said, last one I needed, and you can see the price there, $12. I think the guy gave it to me for 10. You can't beat that first appearance of a character in a book. So, all right. So now we're getting into my Grail list, my Grail scale list that I have in my head. And when I got back into comics a couple years ago, a lot of it was to complete runs I had. Mainly, my main focus was the X-Men. So at this time, I think I needed 6 more issues. I started working on the Chris Claremont run, and that ended up turning into, let's go to the end. So I have almost from like 94 all the way to 544 straight run. And I think at this time I needed 6 more to complete this big run. And then I was going to start going after the 60s books, the original team. So I found a dealer. He had a couple books that I needed. Some of them were a little bit more than I wanted to spend at that day. Remember, I came in this show with $100 in my pocket, and I was going to be like, okay, my main thing I wanted to do is one of my main quests is finish those X-Men. Well, I ended up getting X-Men 105. This book has eluded me a couple times. I'd find it, and it was a real poor grade, like good, or it had tears in it or something like that, or it was really faded. So this one was a pretty nice copy. It was basically $50. I think I talked him down like $5. He was did not want to, budge too much. So I was just like, okay, $5, I'll take $5. But yeah, this was 105 X-Men by Chris Claremont, and Dave Cockrum was still doing this. So this was before John Byrne got on there. And this is the first Lilandra. And you see Phoenix here, early Phoenix fighting Fire Lord there. And of course, all the X-Men are laid out there. So yeah, this was a big one I needed. So I think I got some more since then, like 1 or 2 more. I think I'm down to 3 more for that big run. 109, which is a big one with First Guardian. And then I think it's 112, which is still a big key, but not like a super key first appearance of somebody. I think it's something like they call Logan by his name for the first time, or they reveal that he had a healing. I don't remember what the key is. There's so many little keys in those early 100s X-Men. So, but yeah, this was one of the ones I needed. So just a couple more to finish that one off. Okay, so now I'm winding down to my last little stack here. There was a dealer there that I've seen him before, and I love his stuff. He's like, I would say the ultimate for digging for comics and hunting. You can find very low priced keys with this guy. And it's just because they've been loved, they're not mints. Some of them aren't even mid grades, but he always has books that I would love to have, type of thing, like placeholders, I guess you'd call it, because my thought is I could get it now, fill that hole in a run or whatever, and maybe someday I'll replace it. If not, well, that's okay. I can still sit and read it and, read a whole storyline or something like that. So I did not expect to find some of these books here. Now, one of the ones that he had, and it wasn't on my radar, I knew of it just because I was getting some of these Adventure Comics. And this is Adventure Comics 428. You can see the price tag there. I think I made a deal with just the bundle. So first, Black Orchid. This is her origin story too, from 1973. So Adventure Comics, I think there's 2 more issues after this with her, and then they switched to the Spectre, I think, and then Aquaman for like 8 issue, 9 issue, whatever number issue run. That's how I got kind of turned on to these Adventure Comics. Is I started getting the Aquamans. I think that's actually what started me off with Aquaman, because I found a bunch in a dollar bin, and I was like, these ones I got were really beat too. So, but I was like, okay, I can still read them, but I couldn't finish the story, so I had to track the other ones down. So yeah, this guy had this one. I don't think he had the second and third of this storyline, so I'll have to track those ones down. I know this one was the big one to get, so I for the price that it is, I couldn't pass it up, because I've seen it for higher grade, but of course more moolah. So that Black Orchid, and then I saw the guy had Aquaman, so I'm like, okay, what's the oldest one he's got? Because I just for some reason wanted to see what it was priced, and I think this was the oldest one. He had number 12. I wish he would have had number 11. I think that's the first appearance of Mira, but he had this one, number 12. This was volume 1, 1963. So that was a big deal. I was like, 1963? I was like, wow. So I was really attracted to the fact of how old this one was. And there's nothing special really that happens in this story. And I'll admit, the only reason I got this is, come on, look at that cover. It's Aquaman riding a seahorse. I could not pass that one up. I mean, he's being chased by a bad guy shooting some, I don't know, underwater lasers at him and stuff. But in these old ones, I love the text they put on them. King of the Seven Seas and his young ally Aqualad, and 2 thrilling novelettes featuring the cosmic gladiators. And when they have like dialogue on here, I usually read it out to my wife and makes her laugh because I get in character. But yeah, I love these old comics that have the dialogue on it. So that's Aquaman number 12. And then going down the line of this guy's books, I found this was a recent quest that I have is Conan. Now I am only working on Conan's 1 through, I think it was 115. I have most of that run. I am missing like I think under 15 at least, and they're all between 1 and I think 1 or 2 in the 20s. So a lot of the early stuff. So this was number 17 that I picked up for you. Yes, you see it. $3 for this. Now this is really beat. I think one of the staples is kind of just barely hanging on. But yeah, Conan 1972, number 17. This is Roy Thomas. Let's see, what other information did I write in my cheat sheets? Gil Kane actually is that's right, the cover artist on this. And I love these Conans. I never was really a fan growing up. As an adult, I started reading them, and they just cracked me up. The dialogue cracks me up. Conan is such a, I don't know. I can't even describe what exactly kind of character he has, but he just makes me laugh because he knows no fail. He's just all 100% go. And I love this old classic art too. So, but that's Conan number 17, filling the holes for me. And then I've been working on a mutant. Here's one of my mutant books, New Mutants. Now, when I collected this, it was towards the end of the run. When Cable came out, Deadpool came out, they changed the team a lot. So I decided to go back to these early days where Chris Claremont was writing it. And now this specific one is from 1983, number 17. Sal Buscema was the main artist on it, but the cover artist here is Walt Simonson. Some early work by him. And I just think it's a neat cover, one of those early ones I need. I think there's only a few more. I need like first appearance of Legion. I think I need 32. I think I just need 2 or 3 more for this run, and then I have them all. And like always, I find a lot of them in the dollar bins. Granted, a lot of them aren't keys, but they're fun to read, and that's what it's about. It's all fun. So, and then I was almost ready to call it quits, but this is probably the cheapest one because it wasn't priced, so the guy just gave it to me for $1. So I've been working on. I love Dr. Doom. He's just one of those villains. Him and Magneto. I love the villains. And I'm not a Fantastic Four super fan, but I like them. I've been getting them and reading them. But I got on this quest of just getting Dr. Doom covers from Fantastic Four. I have one there, but it's a reprint from the original. This is 258. John Byrne cover. I love this classic cover with him reflected in his hand, and he's actually like tearing the page cover. That's really cool. This is from 1983. And yeah, this was just one of those. I think this might have been the last one on my Doom list. I'll have to revisit that. I got a list in my phone that I check off. Oh, I want that issue and that issue type of thing, because I use an app to keep track of my comics and stuff like that. But yeah, that one is going. I just got to bag and board it. I mean, this is just, most of these books that I get like this are reader copies, and hey, I made out because I think this book usually goes for about $10 online. He gave it to me for $1, probably because I bought all these other ones from him. But well, that's all I got for you guys today. For this is my second video. This is just a little show off of my new gets that I got from the Kenosha comic book and collectible show in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They do this, as I said, a couple times a year. I'll put a link in the show notes for you guys that you can check it out. But if you like this, please be sure to give me a like, a subscribe, and most importantly, what I enjoy is comment on what was your favorite one that I got for my collection. Was it Invaders? I got a bunch of Invaders, finished off my run for that. Was it my dollar dives? I got some Batgirl and a bunch of Aquaman. Or did you really like some of the stuff I got, like Firestorm? Let me know if you're collecting that. X-Men. I know there's some X-Men lovers out there. And then, of course, just all the random Action Comics, Aquaman, Conan. Let me know what you guys are chasing out there to fill up your stuff. And until next time, happy questing, guys.